We did it. Hello everyone, we've got the pump house to what we'll call version 1.0, a massive transformation. First video for which we put out, I think it was 9 months ago, and during the series we've demolished, cleared, built and painted our way to having a workshop, game library and storage to support our museums. And I have to admit, it's one of those jobs that we might have thought twice about taking on if we'd really stopped to think about the enormity of it. I think I said that about the cave too when we built that, but we emerge slightly battered, with sore backs and shocked middle-aged bodies, but also with a space that we couldn't be happier with. In the last episode, we were working flat out to try and get the build to a point where we could cut the ribbon and let people have a look around. And I'm pleased to say that we only just scraped in on time and managed that. And today, I'm going to give you the full tour of the space. Let's just remember some of the work involved, from insulating and boarding up the enormous ceiling, to painting the trusses, laying the floorboards on the newly built first floor, decorating and finding furniture that would give us the look that we want to complement the style and the history of the building itself, to partition off the ground floor rooms, level the old cracked and uneven floors, and everything in between. The paint barely had time to dry before the first visitors made their way in, and we worked all hours in the final week leading up to that public event to build the library area, the storerooms, and tidy up the great big mess that comes with a project like this. And then, much to our relief, the big day finally arrived and the ribbon could be cut on our most ambitious Trash to Treasure project yet, the pump house.
Pump house, open! Round of applause!
Yay!
And so after all that work, let's take you on a grey rainy day in the Cotswolds into the pump house version 1.0, because remember, just like the cave, there is plenty more development, plenty of loose ends to wrap up, but we wanted a bit of a dramatic entrance, hence the LED light strip in the corridor as we come in here. Let me shut the door behind me. Obviously it's a corridor, it needs to be clear, but I really love the way this has turned out. A lot of work that we've had to do in the pump house, as we've learned as we've gone along the way, is sound deadening. There's a lot of echo in this space, so you'll notice when we go upstairs, soundproofing on the ceilings, and this is the same stuff all the way along here, just to stop those echoes bouncing around. We still need to do a bit more work on insulating the front door and securing it a bit more, but the leftover floorboards all the way down here, I think are lovely. And the floor, we're already scuffing it up, but that's all right because it's a workshop. That's what it's for. So here we are in the pump house. There's one important thing in the corridor, and that's this. And I don't want you to look too closely at it, okay? We're going to go past it quickly. It's a lovely rack, and it is the donations rack. Everything that is on there is just donations that have come from visitors this weekend. It's mad. And the reason I don't want you to look at it too closely is because I think it's a great opportunity to just have an episode, a regular episode on incoming donations, and that rack is like a progress bar. It tells me how much space we've got left. When it fills up, let's make an episode. And we will most likely make that episode in this door here. Yeah, let's start here because this is my new favourite place. Okay, let's go through here. Not the first room, that's not my new favourite place, but it's very useful. This is a storeroom, still sorting through everything. Boxes with labels on are inventoried. Can't get in there because of this high security rope, see. These are things we need to work through and inventory, and also separate the duplicates out, because our next month's event is going to be a table sale of duplicate hardware, duplicate software, of which there are, well, let me show you this. This stack of boxes here, this alone is software that we want to keep that is incomplete. So we need to find manuals and discs. There's probably 3 more boxes high, a stack 3 more boxes high of duplicates that we'll sell at our table sale. These are all cover discs and cover CDs that we need to pair up with magazines. So there's a lot to come out of here. All of this here, this rack, that rack behind there, all magazines which are going to go upstairs in the old storeroom, which will be CRTs because we want them handy up near the systems themselves rather than carrying them all up the stairs. and a new bigger library area for people to enjoy the magazines. So it looks full now, but considering we had 2 containers full, we've distributed the stuff really well, and we've got room to grow. So what do you want from the vending machine? Marathon, fish and chips, or some Space Raiders? Let's go through it.
PCBWay.com.
You chose PCBWay, a one-stop shop for your projects.
PCBWay.com.
For everything from CNC milling to 3D printing and PCB manufacture at great prices.
PCBWay.com.
Is where you need to go to get the help you need for your projects.
PCBWay.com. PCBWay.com.
Yeah, we will smarten that up to look even more hidden, but this takes us into my favourite room, the software library and inventory room. This is, remember, we've also got the W.H. Smiths upstairs and all the software upstairs. So this is everything that was in storage that isn't a duplicate, ranging from our 8-bit micros over here, all the cassette tapes, Amstrad, Spectrum, Commodore 64. That spills over into here where we've got the less popular systems, Commodore 16. We've got the Atari 800, Oric 1. We've even got Mattel Aquarius games, Dragon 32. We've got some, what are these? Tatung Einstein games on 3-inch disc. So more 8-bit stuff there. This center island was built from leftover wood. I'm going to put that on wheels and build another one so we can reconfigure the room as we need to. More 8-bit software there. And then we come on to our Amiga, PC, consoles over here. There's yet more magazines in here which will come out. I had no idea I had so many Xbox games. Look. So many Xbox games. They go too deep over here. It's a mess, but this is the most satisfying part of this whole process. Here is a box of incomplete games, incomplete boxes. In a copy of Alien Breed 3D, I found Alien Breed 3D 2 manuals and discs stuffed in there for convenience, I guess, of the previous owner. And it just so happens I have the empty box, so I get to reunite the discs with the box. Nothing in there. Put them in. Oh, it's so satisfying. And now that can go on the shelf. That's actually a really mint box as well. And I'm repeatedly doing this. I keep finding the discs to go with the empty boxes. I've got packets and packets of Sierra games here that were sent in some time ago, which I unite with boxes as I find them. Crushed game boxes, which I'll iron and reinforce. There's so much to do, but very satisfying. Things you find inside old video games, maps, guides, cheat codes. This is from a football game. So we've got defenders, sweepers, midfielders, attackers. And that's their team sheet. This is, what's this from? I don't know what this one's for. Beware of spiders and troll, bribe troll with a gem. What game's that from? Anyone? Bribe troll with a gem. And someone's job seekers allowance. It has got their name on the back. I'm not going to reveal that and their national insurance number. But somebody was getting help to get back to work in, let me check the back, 1997 that's from. I hope they found a good job. And then over on the other side, a nice desk to work at. And we can do our inventory processing here. Is that on? It's an Apple Mac. Now, what do you think was the most common piece of software that we found when we were unboxing these? Take a guess. Here we go. 6 copies of MakerChip turned up. 4 copies of Mini Office. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's a tie actually. MakerChip and Fun School 2. And I think MakerChip actually wins because this is for a different platform. Yeah, that's for the under 6. That's for the 6 to 8 year olds. So that's technically different. So MakerChip, you are correct if you guessed MakerChip. That's the most common piece of software that came up. Oh, it's a lovely space though. Nice acoustics in here. We could do some live streaming from here. I can film the donations rack processing at this desk. And I think it's going to become quite familiar to all of you as a nice space. 2 more strip lights needed in here just to make the lighting a bit nicer. Otherwise, let's go back out the vending machine. If you haven't noticed, I will be cutting in some nice B-roll from the good camera and not the action camera, just to give you a better look at things. So let's go back down the corridor. Around here is the bottom of the lift, where you can see what the floor was like. Who's this? It's Richard. Hello, Richard. Hello. We're just doing a tour of the pump house.
Oh, fantastic.
What have you come to do?
I've come to get a spirit level.
Well, you know where it is?
No. Oh, it's upstairs.
Yes, yeah. This is what the floor was like before Richard did such a good job on it. So we've gone from that, where you can see some of the older red paint, and that's what we've tried to match. You'll notice it's getting scuffed up. Like I said, that's okay. It's a workshop. There's some arcades coming in here, lots more arcades to be stored in here, with the idea being they go straight on the lift, straight up to the workshop, get fixed, come down out to the arcade, so we can process these really quickly. In our pile, amongst other things, we found another Electra Choice, which we picked up last year. This is one of the Amiga Arcadia based systems, but it's in a different form factor cabinet. So we definitely want to get that up and going again. That's something for the cave, I think. Is there an Amiga in there? Oh yeah, and there's some games in there. Yeah, the whole system's in there. You probably can't see because it's quite dark, but the Amiga and the games are in there. So yeah, monitors on the tilt, but we'll get that fixed. Nice Tetris, nice Seawolf. Down here, just a bit of a store area at the moment, but this is going to be converted for all the game PCBs to be stored. This is Richard's hole. Still need to cut Richard's hole out for marquee storage. But yeah, what can I say? It's a storeroom. It's where the rubbish comes down the chute from upstairs. You put a bin bag in there, and the rubbish comes down. So just basic ply lining, bit of skirting board in here, because it's a storeroom. And there's a few little bits to finish, like around here. But pretty happy with that. Let's take you upstairs then to the studio. Don't look at the rack. Don't look at the donations rack as we go up the stairs. And we see the studio itself, some of which you've seen, but because we filmed some episodes up here, but you know, we've added a few things like a bit of greenery over here, and we've really started to grow into the space. We've got Operation Thunderbolt up here to work on soon. Alongside Op Wolf, we need to do a double episode on that. My desk, Richard's desk, Holly's desk. Still a bit to do at Holly's end because she's quickly learning that she needs a lot more space to spread out monitors when she takes them apart. So more desks will be appearing. Richard's area, not much changed on Richard's area. He's pretty much nailed it first time, maybe an extra desk. My area. Granny's sofa is doing really well. Everyone loves Granny's sofa. Holly's working on tubing at the moment, and then I've built another area over here. Need a bit of extra support in the middle of that desk. But what arrived recently was this, a Carvera Air CNC machine with laser head. So that will give us an opportunity to make some new interesting parts for our repairs. All our tools up there. I've been labelling all our capacitors. Colour coding the shelves here. Fixtures and fittings are yellow, capacitors are blue, resistors will be green. You know, we're slowly just figuring everything out, where everything goes. I said up ahead, up above us, we've got all that soundproofing, which you'll still hear some echo. We want it to sound natural, but it makes a difference. I can't tell you how happy we are with this space, guys. It's such a big relief to get to this point. To be able to use it and to be able to grow into it. You shouldn't be looking at that Amiga monitor either. That's the next episode. Don't look. I'm giving away too many secrets. Can't wait to work on Paperboy. Track and Field's little monitor issue needs fixing. And there's all sorts of extra touches that we need to do to finish this off. This conduit needs fitting to the wall, but it looks nice. My one's fitted. A nice finish. Maybe some more fairy lights, as if we haven't got enough up there. Oh, it's got such a nice feeling in here. And everyone who comes in here on the public days and has seen it grow really does seem to enjoy the space, seems to get what we're trying to achieve with it, the atmosphere. A nice place to work, a nice place to share. And everyone just wants to be in here, I find. Myself in particular, I love the whole flow we've got now of something arriving, coming up here, being repaired, and then taken up to the museums for people to use, and then seeing it used at the weekends. And if we consider this as part of the whole of the Retro Collective, the Cave Museum, the arcade, the work that Heber's doing, it's such an important string to our bow to be able to work in here. And as soon as I finish filming this video, I'm straight onto the Amiga and then the donations, and I'm just going to be all over this space enjoying it. So thank you again to everyone. Oh, I should show you this. If you back the digital package that helped to build this, there was an option to put your name on the wall, and that's happened over here. I should have shown you that as we come up the stairs. There we go, everybody's names. Your name will be there somewhere. I'll put a picture of that up, maybe on social media, and link it in the description of this video so you can scour it and see if you can find your name. But that's the Pump House, everyone. And I hope you love it as much as we do, and I hope you love the content that's going to come out of it this year. And I hope you'll stick around if you're a long-term viewer, subscribe if you're new here, and follow us on this journey through the year and see all of the repairs and everything that we're going to use this space for. It feels like a really important year and a really special year for the collective. And I guess we should put a little montage at the end here of all the work that everyone, Holly, Richard, Jason, myself, and all the volunteers, Pete, Gavin, and everyone else, Emilio, everyone who helped us here to achieve. Thank you. Holly's hurt her back. You gonna be all right?
Yeah.
This is Pete.
Hi.
Pete, what have you just told me?
That I really love to paint and it's my favourite thing.